All right, so we are working on the last bit of our research before we actually start writing the paper. But when we start writing the paper, we need to have a couple of things established ahead of time. The first is the works cited page. And there's a video here on how to make sure your works cited page is correct. However, and this is all under research paper resources, but it says how to do the outline. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and the first thing that you need to have is your own copy of the outline template. The reason that I made an outline template for you to follow is that it is already correctly formatted in MLA format for you. In fact, if you double click into the heading, you're going to change the word last name into your last name. If you come to this, you're going to actually put your first name there and your last name, and then you're going to put the day number of the due date of what you're working on. So I'm previewing this document with you because I have some directions that I want you to follow that will make your life easy. Number one, for the introduction, I don't want you to write an introduction. In fact, I'd like for you to wait till you're done with writing your body paragraphs and things and really coming to your final draft to write the introduction. However, what I would like for you to do is to type your thesis, or basically the general gist of what your topic is about. Like, have a thesis statement ready to go as you do this part of the paper. So there's people, you guys are all researching like some sort of issues, like social issues in context. Kind of give the overview of the social issue in your thesis, and we'll worry about editing that later. But I think the most important part that we have to do actually comes down to these topics. So inside of this Google document, I have inserted horizontal lines between things. Eventually, you're going to delete these horizontal lines because this is going to be your paper itself. It will be the outline will become one thing, and you'll fill some things in, and then you'll start to actually compose your paper. But look what it says for the directions then. So when you get to, it says topic 1. Write a topic sentence, and then inside of this space, I'd like for you to copy and paste from your notes the information that you'd like to present first. So what you should do at this point is think about, in all of the 8 sets of note cards that you've taken, what information do you need to teach your readers first? And what you're going to do in this very first topic / paragraph is you're going to pick 2 to 3 pieces of research that you think are the absolute most important for your topic. Assume your reader hasn't read all the stuff that you've read. So if you're going to give an overview of the issue or controversy that you've been researching, you should probably start with general or most important information first. So what you're going to do is go back to your notes, and I'm going to want you to copy and paste 3 of your notes, maybe 4. It depends, because if it's not that a ton of them, think about what's going to actually fit inside of a body paragraph. Because I don't want a body paragraph that's like a page and a half long. I want a body paragraph that's probably about a half page long, give or take. But nonetheless, pick 2 to 3 things that you should definitely talk about first that are either the most important or the general information that your reader needs to have. And you're going to copy and paste that under topic 1. You're going to do the same thing for topic 2. Go back to your notes and figure out which pieces of research you want to take from your notes and talk about secondly. So you go through and you look at your notes, and you're going to copy and paste notes from the note cards that you've been taking, and you're going to place them under topic 2. You're going to rinse and repeat for topic 3, topic 4, and you're going to go, and I would suggest this, go in order of importance. Assume your reader doesn't know about your topic, so you're probably going to want to be informative at the front end of this, and you're going to want to give them an overview of what this issue really is about, but you're going to go from most important or general toward, at the bottom of the paper, least important or more specific. So you kind of want to organize your topics based upon those things. But you're going to literally copy and paste notes off of your note cards and place them in the order that you want them occur by topic, by topic, by topic. Now, I have provided 8 topics Like essentially you're going to have like 8 body paragraphs. You might need more than that. You might need less than that, but not that much less. But in essence, when you actually compose your paper, when you start thinking of your outline, what research do you want to present and in what order? Now, there's some general guidelines I'd like for you to follow. 1, you may have a ton of notes. You may have a ton of notes. You don't have to use all of them. Only use the ones that you think your reader needs to know in order to understand your topic. So even if you took 25 notes about greenhouse gases, but you think that the only ones that are essential are about 10 of them, and they'll be distributed throughout different parts of your paper, only use those 10. The reason that we took so many notes on so many different sources was so that you had more than enough information to talk about. In your paper, you're going to whittle that down to what is strategic and important. The second thing I'm going to say is, too, I don't actually require you to use all 8 sources in your final draft. Let's say you gathered 8 sources and you get into organizing your thoughts here and you realize that you didn't really need the information in source number 6. Don't try to force it in if it doesn't fit. What will eventually happen is, let's say you don't use a certain source, and we're going to do a protocol later. What we'll do is we'll just remove that source from the Works Cited page when you finalize your draft. But essentially, choose the order in which you're going to talk about the research that you've done. You're going to choose probably the most important information first, or the most general for your reader, and then you're going to work your way to more specific and less important as you get to the bottom of your body paragraphs. Lastly then, the conclusion. It says work on this last. Like, don't touch this until you've actually written your body paragraphs. And the reason I wanted you to do that is I have a method for writing introductions and conclusions that if you've already written your thesis and your body paragraphs, the introduction and the conclusion will write themselves for you. And we'll worry about that when we get to the finalization of your paper. But being a research paper, it needs to be informative, and it needs to include research, and it needs to be organized in a way so that when you're informing your reader about your research, that they can follow what you're saying. Now notice I put the term page break below this. You're going to delete that text eventually, but your page break here is actually for your Works Cited page. And what I'm going to want you to do is you'll eventually copy and paste the Works Cited page that we've already been working on into this spot so that your Works Cited page is already ready to go. But this document, this outline template, is going to be the way in which you organize your thoughts, starting with your first body paragraph or topic 1 all the way to the very last body paragraphs. Then when you actually start composing your paragraphs, you will simply turn what you've pasted as far as your research, you'll turn this stuff into sentences and paragraphs in a voice that makes sense for the reader. So that is the big picture right now, is how to do the outline. You just essentially fill this out and you take your notes that you've been taking and you paste them in there. And that's why citing your notes was one of the very first things that we made sure everybody did correctly. Those things where we have parentheses and the author's last name, there was a reason for that. Or if it didn't have an author and it had the title, we had to make sure that all of those things were cited correctly with the parenthetical citations done correctly. You're now getting ready to put things in the order that they're going to occur in your essay, and then you're going to start composing. So that is the next step, is to get this into shape. And if you notice, this is the heading of a paper. All this is the heading of your actual paper. The header is already formatted and ready for you to edit. We've got everything ready for you. You just got to decide what you're going to talk about first, second, third, fourth, fifth, all the way until you've explained your topic with great depth and detail. Thank you.